Hi, welcome to AllBrands After Hours. Me, your host, Courtney Douthat. Welcome to the show where we hang out and craft together. Today we're using our brother ScanNCut and our brother Aveneer to create a embroidery design from a cut file. No software needed. Let's do this. You heard me right. We're going to be taking a cut file from the ScanNCut, sending it over to my Aveneer, and being able to make an actual applique design. Or I could just make it embroidery and not have applique. It's whatever I prefer. Now, my son has an adorable space room that we're creating right now. Love space. And I found this really cool glow-in-the-dark space fabric. And I was thinking, how cute would it be to make little baskets for his little organizer area for all of his toys and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, it'd be cute to do this. But then I remembered there is a spaceship in the ScanNCut, and it's precious, and it kind of looks like one of these spaceships on this fabric. And now I can't get it out of my head, and I have to make a applique out of it to put on the front of the basket. How cute. One of them could have the spaceship. One of them could have a spaceman, some stars, a moon, and it could be the different baskets, and they would glow in the dark. How adorable. So let's jump into the machine and let me show you the design. Alrighty, we're gonna go to pattern, right here to the different little icon shapes, and the spaceship lives in the travel area. How cute is that? Now, if I want to send this design over to my Aveneer machine, my brother Aveneer, I can't do it from here. This is not where I would wanna go. So let's go back to home. If I wanted to send something through a thing called My Connection, I need to go to the My Connection area. So we're going to come over until we see My Connection. Now, you can send or retrieve. Now, when we talk about My Connection, there are two different forms of My Connection. There is when you have a wireless brother embroidery machine, you can send designs to the ScanNCut, so your PES formatted designs, and it will automatically turn your appliques into a cut file to be able to cut out your appliques for you. That is half of My Connection. So when we're looking at this, retrieving, that's the part of My Connection that any wireless brother embroidery machine has to be brother, but Courtney, I have a blah, 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 has to be a brother wireless embroidery machine. That can retrieve data, but to send data, that can only be done by certain machines. Those machines, there are only 3 embroidery machines that can retrieve data from the ScanNCut, and that is the brother Luminaire, the brother Aveneer, and the brother Stellaire. Those 3 only. But Courtney, can my 10 needle? No, I'm sorry. those 3 only. Now, what ScanNCuts can do it? There are only 2 that can do that, which is the brother SDX 325 and SDX 30. Well, Courtney, I have this, I know. Everyone's always asking me, well, what are the difference between the ScanNCuts? It's things like that. It's all features. So if you have an SDX 325 or 330, you can do full My Connection. If you have a Luminaire, Aveneer, or Stellaire, you can do full My Connection. So, and that would be the send part. So I want to send a design, and where do I want to send it from? My machine's memory, a pattern. I want to go to a pattern because we're going to go get that really cute spaceship. So I'm going to come here to this design category and then to travel, and there's my spaceship. Fantastic. Now I'm going to go ahead and change the size of it before I send it over because I want to make sure I'm sending over the correct size. So I'm going to up the width because I know I want it to be about 6 inches. There we go. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now it's broken it down into all the little parts for me. Now, which do I want to send over? Well, I personally send everything over, which is the last one. So if you notice, it's on all these little bitty parts. But you could send everything. And for what I want to do, I want to send everything. So I'm going to hit OK. Set. Now, if you're looking at this mat and you're like, wait a second, why did it go longer and why does it have this grayed out area on the side? Because it knows that the machine that you registered and you connected to them together, that is the biggest hoop size that you have. So it's automatically going to set it to your biggest hoop. So how crazy is that? So all you have to do is now hit transfer. All right, it's saying, hey, is it okay if I put this in a temporary pocket? It's going to delete out anything else that's in that temporary pocket, which is totally fine. Hit OK. You could tell it, don't ask me that again, but it's nice. All right, now it's transferred over. How easy is that? Isn't that amazing? I know, how easy is that? So let's go ahead and let's jump over to our Aveneers to show you what I'm gonna do next with it. All right, so we're gonna go to My Design Center on our embroidery machine. We're going to come to these shapes right here. You're gonna see like a circle and a square. If you look at the top, it's our ScanNCut because I've gone ahead and connected mine. I'm gonna go to that top image or that first one because that's what I transferred over and hit OK. And now we have this amazing thing. And I'm gonna go to this paint bucket tool and I'm gonna start coloring it. Trust me, you need to do this. So I'm gonna pick my first color, which is gonna be this beautiful blue. Hit OK, and I'm just going to use that paint tool just to fill in that whole area. If you ever used paint on your computer back in the day, same concept. So I'm going to come back, get the red, and all I'm doing is I'm clicking the color, and that's bringing me to the color options. So now I want my gray, and I am going to zoom in because it makes it a little easier to color, and I'm going to go ahead and select everything that I want to be gray. I'm then going to select this little hand at the top, and that's going to let me move the design without accidentally coloring it. So I can unselect the hand, go back to my paint bucket, and then keep filling in the colors, going to my next color, hitting OK. And these are going to be the colors that it suggests for me to be able to stitch out later. So I'm using that hand tool again, coming, and I'm going to now get the gray again because I missed a part on the gray. There we go. Oh, and I didn't select my paint bucket. It was on the paintbrush, so I need to make sure it's on the paint bucket so it fills in that whole area. Get my orange, and I'm going to do the flames at the bottom of this awesome spacecraft, orange. Now, once I have everything selected, I'm going to zoom back out and look at our awesome spaceship. I absolutely love this. I'm going to go ahead and select next, and this is going to bring me out of my design center and saying, hey, this is going to be into your actual embroidery, which is what I want. So I'm going to come to the top, select edit, and then I'm going to go to the shield tool right here with the little crown. And this is going to give me two different options. The first option is going to make the whole design a patch, so the whole spaceship. The second one, I can actually select the individual colors that I want to be part of the applique. And this is the tool that I want to use because I don't want to make the whole thing a patch. I want individual pieces of my applique, and I could select whatever color of my design, and that's why I colored it, not just because it looked amazing, but now it's easier for me to select the exact section that I want to be an applique because it is a certain color. All right, so I'm going to select that second one, and I want that darker blue to be my applique. Now I could have selected multiple, whatever I wanted, but I want this blue one. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now this is where I can select do I want a zigzag satin stitch around my applique, but at the top you'll see those A's. Those are very important. Do you just want the outside of the applique, or do you want the inside and outside? I want the inside and outside because there's that little window for the spaceship, or you could just select the inside. Now, you could also say you want a nice satin stitch around, but I have a satin stitch going at the end of my design, so I really don't need it for this one, so I can just turn it off. All right, I'm going to hit preview at the bottom, and look at that applique! How cool is that? So now it's made an applique, so if you notice on the right-hand side, it's got scissors now and a tack down line because it is an actual applique. And now she's ready to stitch out, but I'm going to select the memory down at the bottom, the little pocket, and if you notice, there's a ScanNCut because now I can send it back to my ScanNCut if I wanted to be able to do the rest of my connection where it will cut out my applique for me. You didn't think I was going to cut that out, right? No, absolutely not. All right, so we're going to go ahead and scan over to the side on my ScanNCut to my connection, and we're going to retrieve data this time from our wireless LAN. And just as a jump scare, I am trying out a new camera, and I'm about to jump to the old camera. Tell me which one you like better. Now, doesn't that look a little familiar? I know, isn't that cool? All right, let's go ahead and we're going to hit set. All right, now it already has it changed to the size that I particularly need it at. So I'm gonna hit set, and it's gonna set it on my mat. Now I could rotate it, change it any way I want, but that is the exact thing that I need to cut out. Now, usually when I do appliques, I suggest people to up the size 1 or 2. I've noticed with my connection, I haven't really had that issue, but if you do wanna up the size, this is how you do it. You're gonna go to Edit, Object Edit, and then the size right here. So you're going to do that, and then I usually say to up it 1 or 2 bumps. So boom, boom, if you want to do that. However, again, for my connection, I've noticed it's pretty on the money, so I usually don't, but if you want to, that is an option for you to absolutely have. Now, I did flip my fabric on my mat because I have the heat and bond light on upwards. This really doesn't have a direction, but just in case, I'm gonna hit Object Edit again, and then the flip the design is right here in the center. See, and it flips. Now I'm gonna move it away from the edge just a little bit like this, and then I'm good to go. Okay, so now that we've got our design ready to go and she's ready to stitch, let's go ahead and prep our fabric. Now, since it is an applique, I like to treat the back of my appliques with a Heat and Bond Light, or Heat and Bond Ultra if you prefer. I do like a Heat and Bond Light for appliques. Now, if I'm not putting any stitches into it, Heat and Bond Ultra all the way. And again, guys, I list everything down below. I don't know if y'all know this. Literally, the spritzer is listed down below. The iron, the wool mats. I list everything because I don't want you guys to have to go searching for anything. Now, speaking of that, for everyone that watched the last show of the stamp video, I mentioned really quickly that we had a few still in stock of that discontinued stamp kit, and I thought like 1 or 2 of you might go and purchase it. No, it was a lot of you. So I am so sorry to the people that did not get their hands on that stamp kit. I did not realize of how many people would really want that stamp kit, but I did show you in the video how to get around it. I wish Brother would bring that stamp kit back because I personally really liked it. So sorry about that. I won't link anything or mention anything that we do not have full stock of. So if I'm mentioning it or linking it, we have stock. I have learned my lesson. I thought like 1 or 2 of you, okay? Y'all are awesome. All right, so we've got our Heat and Bond Light on the back of our fabric. So I put it on the wrong side, even though this technically doesn't have a wrong side, but just on your wrong side of your fabric. Now I have my fabric mat here because that's what I use to cut out my appliques. I take fabric side down on a fabric mat. Now, Courtney, why aren't you putting paper side down or taking the paper off and putting Heat and Bond Light side down to the fabric mat? Because that will get stuck on the mat and ruin my mat. And I'm more worried about my fabric than I am about this Heat and Bond Light. So I'm going to put fabric side down on a fabric mat. Here we go. Ooh, she's still a little warm. There we go. All right, let's load in our mat. Alrighty, let's go ahead. We're gonna hit OK. OK again. OK again. Please select, and we want to cut. To be able to cut out this applique, I am going to use my thin fabric blade. If you have the rotary blade, you can use your rotary blade if you have this one. I'm just gonna use my thin fabric blade because I like to give her some love every once in a while because I do favor the rotary blade. All right, I like how she came in the side. Alrighty, everything looks great. Let's hit start. This is such a fast project. It's so fast. The longest thing is going to be me making the actual basket out of the fabric. Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead while she's cutting out, get my fabric ready. That way I can just throw it on there and embroider it out, applique it. It's so fast. All right. So the sides of my basket are going to be this pretty glow in the dark. I'm excited. But the front of it, I thought it'd be pretty to make out of this fabric. And I'll probably make my lining out of this too. And it's really pretty. It's just white with little bitty stars on it. Oh, and she's done. Let me pull her off. There we go. All right, so we have our fabric here. I'm just going to take out the outer part. And I keep this because now I have some pre-Heat and Bond Light fabric that I can just throw for my appliques, and I'm always needing it. Always. So here's my design right there. So I'm going to take my spatula tool, go underneath a part of the fabric, wiggle, 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 and that way, fold up. How easy is that? Look how easy is that? No scissors. That's awesome. All right, we've got our little window that we don't need, but if you want to put him on anything, you're more than welcome to. And how fast and easy was that to cut out with that ScanNCut? So now, all I have to do is do my actual applique. When it gets time to put this part down, I just take off the paper backing, put it on there, heat it down, go. There's nothing that I have to do. It's gonna be so easy. So now, that's ready to go. All right, I'm going to take my fabric, my front piece right here, and I'm going to fold it in half just real quick. And I'm gonna lightly crease it so I can tell where the center of my fabric is. That way when I hoop it, I already have a guide. Okay. There we go. All right, there we go. Now I have a nice center guide right there. Alrighty, so take my iron away. Thank you, heat pad. All right, next I'm gonna grab my magnetic hoop because you know my favorite hoop is a magnetic hoop. Now, I did see someone came into our Houston store and they were like, I want the exact one that Courtney's using on the show. This is a 7x12 hoop and is the actual Brother authentic hoop, and I absolutely love this hoop. So if you want to know, again, I have a link down below. And I've learned my lesson with linking things. We have full stock, do not worry. Go. I love the magnetic hoops. It's easier in my opinion, and I don't like hooping things, so it's just easier. It all just clips in, or magnetics in. All right, so we've got our hoop. I've taken off all my magnets. She is naked. Okay, I'm gonna get some stabilizer. This is just a cutaway stabilizer. I believe this is a cutaway. It's just a heavy duty cutaway. All right. There we go. All right, so we've got our stabilizer, we've got our fabric, and I did crease it, so now I know where the center is. So I can meet that center up with the center of our hoop. All right, fantastic. I'm gonna put it towards the top because the pattern I follow, it's kind of like a makeshift pattern that I just created. The bottom part is the bottom of the bag, so I actually want to kind of bring it towards the top of the bag. So that way our rocket ship stays towards the top. All right, so now what I do is I start scooping. So I'll take my magnet and go like this, and then like that. How I do it is I will take a magnet. So I usually start with my small magnets, but you can do whatever you prefer. And I kind of just graze across the material and then drop the magnet. So let me do it on the side. All right, and I want to do my bottom ones. So I'm just combing the fabric, drop. Okay, we're gonna comb the fabric, drop. And those little arrows, so if you see little arrows right here, those point towards the inside of your hoop. All right, so now we're gonna take our big magnets, we're gonna comb the fabric and drop. There you go. All right, comb the fabric, drop. And this makes sure that I don't have any weird ripples or puckering or anything that drives me bonkers. There we go. All right, last one. Comb, drop. How easy is that to hoop? There's no fighting with the thing and it popping out in some kind of weird fashion. Or if I ever feel like, oh, you know what? I wish I would have tightened it in this area. I could just take the magnets off and then go recomb, drop in that area. And there is a little magnetic tool that you can buy that pops them off. I never use it. I don't really know where mine is. But if you're ever scared about that magnet getting your fingers, because they are strong magnets, that little tool is awesome. All right, so sounds like a drum. There we go. Let's bring it to our machine. Alrighty, we're ready to go on this. How pretty. Oh, so good. All right, our first color on there is going to be whatever color is going to do our tack down stitch around our design. So it really doesn't matter in this instance what it is, but if you have a preference, then absolutely change it to whatever you prefer. I'm going to personally use this light blue that I have, just because it kind of looks like the light blue of the fabric. You're not going to see this, but this is just for my brain to know that it's under there. Gotta love an automatic threader. All right, so everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and put my foot down and hit start. All right, here we go. So she's gonna do that tack down stitch for me first. That way I know where to put, exactly where to put my applique. Gorgeous. All right, gotta remember to do the inside part. That way I really can just match it up perfectly because it shows the inside area. I mean, it's just perfect.
Finished stitching.
And yes, I have.
Thread the machine with the next thread color.
And yes, I have the voice guidance on there. I like the voice guidance. Alrighty, so now what I can do is I'm gonna take my hoop off and I'm going to heat down my applique piece exactly where, I mean, like right on the money. How cool is that? So I'm taking the hoop off the machine. I'm not unhooping, so everything still stays in the hoop, but I am taking it off of there. All right, so this is where the wool mats, where did mine go? There we go. This is where the wool mats are great, especially the ones that can fit right underneath your machine or your actual frame. All right, so I'm gonna take the paper backing off of that Heat and Bond light. Like that. So that wool mat's underneath there, so it's protecting there. So I'm gonna line up my applique. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's like spot on. Not like, it is spot on. That is so good. All right, so we have the Heat and Bond light under there. I've got my iron right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and iron straight to it. But this way, I like putting Heat and Bond light on the back of it, so whenever it's stitching down, nothing's accidentally tugging or moving. It's solid on there. And this is why I like the little mini irons like the M3 Pro, because it's so little. It can fit in the frame, so even if my frame was smaller than this one, it could absolutely fit in there. All right, beautiful. It's on there. There we go. Let's put it back in our machine. All right, so the next stitch is going to be the stitch that actually connects them down. Now, I did tell it I did not want a satin stitch or a zigzag stitch, which was an option when we were creating this. I did tell it I didn't want that, but if I had said I wanted it, this is when that would happen. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to go. Because there's a beautiful satin stitch that's going to happen at the end. And I'm actually going to do it in a really cool thread that glows in the dark. So I'm pretty excited about this. With this is just another little tack down stitch. But honestly, I didn't even need it since I used a hang bond light on the back of it. Because again, I'm going to get a beautiful satin stitch at the end. All right, now it's going to come around that circle. How nice it is that I didn't have to cut the inside of that circle. I'm just thinking about that now. I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. All right, so now it's asking me for the next color. The next color is actually the red color, so it's for the top of the spaceship. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch out to red. All right, let's get go. Alrighty, the red is done. Oh, it's so good. I just like want to rub my fingers on it. Okay, that's weird, Courtney. Alright, the next color we have is going to be this gray. It's going to be like the little fins, I don't know what they're called, the wings. This little area in between, oops, sorry. This little area in between here gets some gray, around the window gets some gray. So I'm going to go ahead and change up to my gray real fast. All right, gorgeous. We're gonna go ahead and sit down and let's go. Alrighty, our gray is done. She looks fantastic. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, stop touching it, Courtney, focus. Alright, so the next color we need is the light blue, which is inside the little window right here. So whatever we color, we want the little window. Alright, let's go ahead, put our foot down, and go. Knock on wood, but this feels easy. This is going seamlessly. Oh yeah, that was a good choice. That was a good choice. All right, whew, that was fast. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so now we've got the orange that does the little flames at the bottom. Okay, go. Alright, so, oh my goodness, it's so cute. Alright, so now this is the time, where I contemplated pretty hard. I contemplated during the whole thing, but so I have two different options. It's telling me to do a black, to do a pretty outline, and I was like, oh, black is a little harsh. I was gonna do this really pretty navy. I know it looks black on camera, but it's navy. I was going to do that, or I was gonna do a metallic thread. And then thinking about it, I'm like, well, the glow-in-the-dark fabric is going to be on the back part for the basket that I'm doing. So you won't really see that. So I want the glow-in-the-dark to be also on the front part. So I bought this glow-in-the-dark really pretty thread. The only thing with it, it's light blue. So it's not going to give that pretty dark outline. But I think for a kid's room, it might actually look nice. So let's try it. If it doesn't work, let's blame someone else. Pick a name. And let's blame them. So let's go ahead and get this threaded on there and do our outline. And then we're done with that part of it. Oh my goodness,
Finished embroidery.
she's done! Alright. Oh my goodness, it's so cute! I cannot wait to see it when the lights off. Okay, so, you know what, I thought I'd be worried about it not having that black outline, but I actually think I prefer it this way. It looks good. Alright, 10 out of 10. Love this. Alright, I'm gonna take it out of the hoop. Exciting times. Okay, maybe I should find that little thing that pops it off. There we go. I don't know, it's somewhere around here. I gotta organize. I need a day where I'm in the studio and I just organize. Maybe I'll go live with you guys. All right. Ta-da! So cute, so cute. All right, let me put my hoop away because I'm really bad about losing things. You see how like strong it is? Whenever it doesn't have the fabric in there. I'll just put that on backwards. She's a strong little magnet. But honestly, I love the big giant magnetic hoops. I'm hoping they come out with one that's the 18¼ inch hoop, which is the biggest hoop on the Aveneer. I'm sure they will, right? Right. But this one is a 7x12, and this is the one I use mostly. I have a 10, is it 10 5/8 by 10 5/8? And I have this one, and I love them both. They're fantastic. And then I have all the dime ones and all the different fun sizes. All right, so we have this. Now I have two different options. I can take out the stabilizer if I wanted to, or I could do some 505 spray and like stick it down to there, and then it's like another little stiffener inside of it, because I am going to put an interfacing in it, just to give it some stability whenever it's being made up. Alrighty, so I have the inside lining fabric, and what this is a 22 by 15 inch square that I then cut out 4x4 little squares out of the bottom. So I've already cut that, so I'm gonna lay this on my material, and then that way I've already got it ready. Alright, go. Now if you want to put your interfacing on beforehand, you absolutely could do that. I just do mine separately. There's no reason, there's no rhyme to it. I just do that. There we go. Fantastic. And yes, I'm doing multiple layers. It's just easier and faster. There we go. There we go. All right. Did I cut that? Yes, I did. I couldn't tell it was good. All right, let me scoot this over. How fast is that? Okay, so now we have our top piece cut out. We've got our lining cut out. Now we just need to cut out our back piece. If you do any kind of pattern making, this is great. And I have some interfacing that I've already cut to the dimensions that I needed. right? And I'm going to put adhesive side down. Line everything up. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and iron it down. I'm just gonna bond all that together. Even over my embroidery. And this is just gonna give our material a little bit of stiffener, so that way whenever it's an actual bag standing up, it's got a little oomph to it to hold it up, and so it doesn't just flop over. All right, so now it's one solid piece and it's got a little bit of structure to it. How cute is that? All right, I'm gonna do the same thing with the back piece, and then we're gonna actually start sewing them together, which is very exciting. All right, so now we've got our interfacing on both pieces. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put right sides together. There we go. Of both the lining and the outside pieces, and I'm going to sew them. So I'm going to sew both sides, so on this side and the other side and on the bottom, but I'm going to leave the top part open. So just sewing on each of the sides and the bottom. All right, so while this is still, right sides together, we're going to take it and actually open it up, and then we're going to fold it. So where we had that 4x4 cutout right here, I'm actually gonna fold it so that way our side seam and our top seam meet up. We're gonna line this up, and then I can kind of maneuver the fabric where it lays nicely and it gives me the straight line like this. And now I can sew both of those corners shut. And this same thing that I'm doing on my top fabric, I'm gonna do on my lining fabric. So again, we're just going to sew right down here and then flip it to the other side where that other 4x4 cutout was, open it up like this, and sew that shut as well. And if you wanna pin it, I highly recommend it. I have no idea where I put my clips, my Wonder clip, so I'm gonna have to actually just regular pin it. So I'm going to take my outer one and have it facing out. Take my lining fabric, it's still right sides in. I'm going to open it up and then go ahead and sit my outside fabric inside of it, making sure that I meet up the seams. So the sides and the sides meet up. If you want to pin it, you absolutely could. There we go, like that. So our spaceship is inside. It's so cute. Okay, so now what we're going to do, once we've met up the seams, here we go, and just sew it around with that little free arm on there. I could probably, honestly, the bag is so big, I could probably get away with not taking this off. And yes, I am using a different machine than the Aveneer right now because I had a sick one at home that I got called during that video. And so I am at home sewing right now. So the video did have to get finished at home. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and we're gonna sew all the way around, leaving a little gap, about a 2-inch gap that I can flip right side out, and then I'll go back and sew the top of it to close that gap. I'm gonna stop every once in a while just to shift everything around because I'm being lazy and did not take my free arm off. Okay, I don't feel like it. All right, now we're going to turn our basket right sides out through that little bit of hole. I wish I would have left mine maybe a little bit larger because it did take me a few seconds, but don't worry, I'll make it speed up for you guys. There we go. Alrighty, so we've got our basket. It's so cute. All right, so we've got it like this, and now I'm going to go ahead. Now this is up to you. If you just wanted to whip stitch that little area that we left open, where's mine? I think it was over here. Wait, where is it? Oh, I've lost it. Oh, there it is. If you want to whip stitch this closed, you absolutely could. Or if you want to actually just put a top stitch on it. I'm just going to go ahead and do a top stitch on it. I think it'll make it look really nice. If you wanted to add handles, I would have done that earlier, but I'm not going to add handles to this one. So I'm going to find where my opening is, and I'm just going to press it. You could iron this section down if you wanted to. And then I'm just going to go ahead and sew all the way around just to leave a little nice border. And I'm doing it with a really pretty little light blue thread. Oh, I could have done it with the glow in the dark thread, but I left it at the studio. So I'm gonna go ahead and just sew that closed. Now are y'all ready to see the final results in 3, 2, 1. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. I think this is precious. Let me know if you want more videos where I'm playing with my connection back and forth to the ScanNCut and to the Aveneer, having tons of fun. And don't forget that the Brothers ScanNCut is available on our website, allbrands.com, and we truly appreciate when you do purchase with us online. That helps us continue this education that we do, and we truly appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for purchasing with AllBrands and supporting me. Thank you. Also, if you're near one of our 8 locations, yes, 8 retail stores, we have the Brothers ScanNCut and the Aveneer available in those locations, and we encourage you to come play and test drive. And if you haven't signed up for AllBrands Academy, I highly encourage you. If you want to come take some lessons with me and some other awesome educators, make sure that you sign up from AllBrands Academy. Spots are filling up fast. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to let us know that you guys want more videos. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all. If you have the rotary blade, you absolutely, you heard how British I got for a second? Why? You absolutely can use your rotary blade if you have this one. Off of that Heat and Bond light, like that. It stuck to me. Hi, Alex. What you doing?
Mommy's working.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. What's up, dude? Hi. You just wanted to hang out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on, Daddy.
He said no. That's okay. You want to sit with me while I sew? Okay, you can sit with me. Maybe he'll learn to sew.
Look at my bear costume.
Oh, I love your bear costume. Oh, I'm getting distracted.
To scare people.
Oh, don't scare people.
To scare people.
Why? Can't you be a friendly bear?
Yeah, I can be a friendly bear.
Oh, good. I'm glad.